Hal here with more Space Engineers. So, as you can see, I'm just kind of drifting around, completing up some of the exterior shell that we have been talking about doing. And what I'll do is, once we get a little bit further along here, I'll show you what we've been working on. Been doing a lot of stuff off camera, but I want to get at least part of this done on camera, just to show you basically where we're going with it and what the thought process is on some of this. Let's make sure we are not at risk of running into anything. So happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I should say happy Tuesday afternoon, huh? Anyway, for the parents out there, happy belated Mother's Day to everybody. All right. So let's go ahead and turn on our dampeners here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head and let's turn those off. We're going to take a little bit of a spacewalk here, show you what we've been working on. Okay, so each of these places that you see one of these conveyor blocks, this is actually going to be, actually I put all my steel plates away. So what we're going to do is this entire surface is going to be raised another tile until we get to about here, and then we're going to transition this because this is the thickness that we want back here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a transition layer right here along this line. I don't have any blocks to really illustrate it, unfortunately, but we'll show you when we get a little bit further along. So as you can see, let's turn the light on here so you can actually see. What we've been working on is I'm looking at doing a little bit of detailing in here. We're going to put in, a couple of corner transition blocks in each of the corners, and then the open areas that you see here will have the 45-degree turns in them. So there will be a 45 here with an inside corner 45, and then you'll have the 2x1 slope there, and again for this block. Just trying to make it a little bit more interesting on the eyes. I'm thinking I might put some kind of feature here in the middle. I'm not sure yet, because there is a hallway behind this, and if I'm not mistaken, the hallway should be here along this line and along this line, so I may put windows in. If I do, it's going to be a bit interesting because we have a very thick hall right here. You know, we're talking about 1, 2 blocks, and then, so yeah, like 3 blocks thick. So I'm not sure yet. I just thought it might be nice to have a window in here. And then again, maybe over on this side as well, because that's on the back side of the cargo, so I may leave this one as it is, and then I might pull some of these blocks out and do the same level of detailing or the same type of detailing further back here. You know, just to break up the lines a little bit, give it a little bit of interest. So as I was saying, each of these conveyor blocks will have a point defense system on them. So if you see a conveyor block that's exposed, like up here, these will, like I said, have the light armor blocks in between, and then there will be point defense cannons on it. So we're really heavy on point defense around the main cannon, along the bridge/hangar entrance area. And this is mirrored on both sides. And then we have a couple up front, which will actually be the forward 180 arc. So they are going to be mounted on this front face. So they'll be able to fire in 180 up, down, or, you know, that entire sphere, that half sphere, I should say. Basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to make this thing survivable for meteor storms. It's, like I said, it's not really a combat ship, so it's not going to be doing, and it's not expected to survive a whole lot of player stuff or even pirates. It's really more just a defense system. And then we have the big cannon in case we are being attacked by, 1 or 2 larger ships. That is the quad 230, and it does a ridiculous amount of damage. So I may end up changing it out because, I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago or so, the folks at Keem Software changed the scales for the way that solid projectiles, weapons such as the cannons work, and how much damage that they do. They scaled it back a little bit. So I may actually take that out and replace it with some form of kinetic weapon built by a player. There's a couple of designs I've been looking at specifically for railgun style weapons that I think would be kind of interesting to try. But we'll see how it actually plays out. Let's see, you already got parts, right? Let's go ahead and finish you up. Okay. Just because I don't like leaving things half done. Yeah, I was drifting a little fast when I came through here, so... but this is more along the lines of what we're looking at for the way the ship is going to look when it's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start working on the rest of the ship. Oh, so many blocks. I think I've added something like close to, I don't know, maybe 1,000 blocks now on top of what was here. So big, heavy ship. It is not going to turn quickly. You have better luck if you are in combat doing lateral and horizontal and lateral changes. Mainly because of the fact that you have so much thrust in those thrusters. Because these things here, these little modular thrusters, these are actually main thrusters for most ships. And we're using them for maneuvering thrusters. So there is a ridiculous amount of power on this thing right now. Like I said, though, it does not turn well. So some ideas in case you ever see one of these things and you want to try and rate it, or if you're in one of these things and you're trying to avoid being rated, you're going to be able to do flat maneuvers much easier than you are any type of maneuver that requires your gyroscopes. There's just not enough gyroscopes on the ship to make it ridiculously maneuverable. And again, it was never its design spec to be ridiculously maneuverable. It really is more of a being able to get in close to asteroids, have your groups deploy, go do what you need to do, come back, process, and then while you're processing, get it moving again. Yep, so let's see here. Command center. I think I showed everybody this last time. You know, I know we talked about the cockpit status, if it was occupied or not, the cryo rooms, if each of the chambers were occupied, and the oxygen. So one of the things that I did find is that MMaster's LCD script does allow you to look at assembler statuses as well. You can tell if it's idle or working on or off, right? Unfortunately, you cannot tell if what it's creating. You can only tell that it is making something. So we've got a status here that's just a rough status saying, hey, look, this is everything that's going on over here. So what I am going to probably do is add in a station status for the station assembler, so when you're connected, you'll see them. It's surprisingly easy to do, so we'll probably end up appending that in. Again, we have our docking systems here, so the 2 on the port, 2 on the starboard, their statuses. Our ingot summary, we are connected to the station right now, so we're seeing all ingots. I did take out the ore summary because of the fact that the new ingot summary does tell you how much ore you have in reserve as well. So there's not a whole lot of reason to really have both an ore and ingot summary anymore, unless you specifically want to break them out, at which point you can. But if you can put it all on one screen, you may as well. I have updated the ship status, so now you know the GPS location, your speed, acceleration if you are under power, what your reactor time is. Because we were, again, hooked up to the station, we have a ridiculous amount of power, so it's more than 30 days, I think. So it's telling you basically you have infinite power right now. I do have a damage display on this as well. As you can see, there's no blocks currently damaged. This does not tell you armor block damage. It only tells you actual component block damage. So if you do have any blocks that are any component items that are damaged, it will show up here. It's actually kind of cool. Let me see. Construction does not count. I have it set up so it doesn't show construction states. So if I was to grind it down, it wouldn't show you damage. It would still say nothing's damaged. I don't have any small weapons that I would really want to use anywhere on anything. So what I will do is once it's done, we'll make a copy of the ship. I'll take it in to a completely blank universe, you know, spawn in some weapons, do a little bit of damage to some components, and we'll show you how it works for the damages. Jump drive status has been updated a little bit. We changed the color scheme on it. Basically, I just want it to be able to see it. I don't really want it to draw too much attention because I'm more worried about these types of displays than I am about this. Because the only time I need to know this is when I'm going to use them. Not a bad thing to have, however, you know, unless it's an emergency, you don't really need to see it that often. So assemblers are actually more important, but because of the fact that I don't need to be looking at these when I'm piloting, I do need to look at these. That's why it's over here. So just some design thoughts. Or I should say just some thoughts behind the decisions. So as you can see on this side, we haven't really finished anything or even started putting any blocks in. I am going to go ahead and finish welding up what we have over here, get the rest of the blocks for the top in, and then I will bring it back so we can talk about a little bit more of the design process. Right, so I will see you all shortly. Hi all, and we're back. So, as you can see, I'm actually pressurizing the hangar. Let me show you what we got going on here. Let me open this up first. So, what we've been working on. What's funny is I'm going to have to depressurize all this again in a second. I'm just making sure everything's working. So, main hangar is pressurized. The secure hangar is pressurized. And the command room is pressurized. Oh, yeah. So basically what I've done is I've gone ahead and finished up securing in the command area. So as you can see, we actually do have air in here now. Let's go ahead and open this up so that we have all of our air supply. No band no band references, but yeah, so we have all of our vents open and accessible now. As you can see here, everything is good. Yay! So do we have air in here? Yeah. All right. So now that we actually have everything closed off and pressurized, we can get all the way through the entire ship without closing any of the doors. But we're going to go ahead and close them anyway because, like I said, I am going to have to depressurize this main hangar area. Let's go through here and do it this way. So first things first is just close this. For the main hangar tanks, we're going to turn those on the stockpile. For the vents, we're going to turn on the depressurization. And then to make sure everything is working, all right. So what we're waiting for is for those numbers to stop increasing. Alright, so stockpile is turned on so that vents cannot actually pull anything from it. Awesome. Depressurization is already turned on, so we should be good to open up that hangar door. Alright, so barring any catastrophic failures of anything, we should That's not good. See. I need to better name. Yeah, see. Go ahead and close those. And we'll just use the button to open them all. There we go. Okay, so now that that's sorted. Come on. There you go. We just vented the hallway here. So I am going to install an airlock system, like an actual airlock system, not just this, you know, what I refer to as the ghetto airlock. Because I do want to have everything around here pressurized and be able to maintain a pressurization. We'll go this way, it's fine. Alright. Okay, so we know all of this is holding. Because we actually have atmosphere in here. We have atmosphere in the stairwell. And I will take y'all outside here in a moment to show you what we've got going on. And no atmosphere in here because I forgot to pressurize it when we once we sealed it off. So we've got air, we're high atmosphere here. We're high atmosphere here. Awesome. And high atmosphere here. Okay. So we do now have everything sealed off internally. All of our hallways are completely airtight, as you are seeing. And now the only thing to do is to head out back through the hangar, take you out and show you what we've done for the exterior portion. Because we know all this is... Is there no atmosphere in here? Really? There we go. I want as much atmosphere in here as I can get. And what I'm going to do, and I know I've said this before, but I will come back and put in a vent system for the hallway, for each of the hallway segments as well. Because I don't want to have a situation where if somebody comes in and they're, you know, basically starting to suffocate, I don't want to have them wait until all of this closes and pressurizes and everything. I want to be able to get in and out of here, you know, fairly quickly and easily without having to worry quite so much about the whole system. And so let's go out and show you what we've done. We're going to go this way because this is where our ship is at. All right. So for the side of the ship, what we've done, and as I said, I haven't finished the whole thing yet. You know, I still have some blocks over here to do, but we're getting there. We're almost there. Oop. Turn our light on here. So as you can see, I've left a little bit of spacing in here because I'm going to come back and do some detail work around the engine nacelles. We still have to put in the secondary retro thrusters, which are going to be basically these, but mounted on the front of the nacelle here. On top, we actually have put in pretty much everything that we were going to. I've got this really large open area right here, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is make a docking pad, an exterior docking pad for the larger ships. So what we'll be able to do is to say bring like the welder or a mining craft with it. It's most likely the big miner, because that's what's going to have the most benefit for us, and being, you know, keeping everything as mobile as possible. So since we do have two of the mining vehicles now, I do think I'm going to put a pad in here, probably do the mag pads, the mag locks, and have it in here, and then we're going to put a entrance into the ship somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. This is basically a small area to get into the cargo in case you are out doing repairs. This way you don't have to actually be in the ship to get things done. Like you don't have to go back, you know, in and out of the ship to keep picking up supplies. You're going to have an area to pick up supplies right there, which is another reason why I'm talking about putting in the large ship over here. But yeah, so I think that is, you know, on the side we've got a lot more done. There's still a couple of pieces that we need to make sure are in for detail work. We're going to have to, and then obviously come back and actually do some detail work on some of this. But yeah, I mean, this is the ship so far. And I'm going to go through, and the reason you're seeing these pieces like this, the ship hasn't taken damage. What's going on is that I'm using a couple of larger blocks, some of the 2x1s and next to 1x1s. And the way that the surface texturing works is that the meshes are basically trying to split the difference, and this is what you end up with. So what I'm going to have to do is go through and take a bunch of these blocks out and put them back in so that we can get them sorted out and straightened so that we don't have, you know, that. So yeah, this is basically where we are. The rest of this is just going to be skinning and detailing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and call this episode here. I want to thank you all for stopping in today. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you let me know in the comment section below any of the videos. If you haven't done so already, and you do enjoy the episode, I do ask you that you either like and or subscribe. Both the likes and subscriptions do help the channel to grow, but they also keep you informed on what's going on around here, as well as letting me know what content you're enjoying. And I do try to make sure that the stuff that people are enjoying and watching, that you're getting more of it. So it's a great way to do it. It's easy to do and doesn't cost you anything. It's also one of the nicest things you can do for a YouTuber. So, you know, do something nice today. If you do nothing else today, you know, to be nice to somebody, hit those like buttons and subscribe. It's easy. Anyway, I'm out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thanks again for spending your time with me. And as always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, so many more blocks. I don't want to look at any more blocks. Oh well.